The engine was roaring, the wind was whooshing across the canopy, and little 8-year-old Gene was sitting in his mother's lap. The pilot was to his left, and they were flying over the cotton fields and orange groves around Chandler, Arizona. Gene was excited because this was his first time in an airplane. And then it happened. The pilot looked to his right and he said, "Gene, would you like to take the controls?" And like any other 8-year-old, I said, "Sure!" And like Michael Latoro's father, I had no idea what they could do. But I grabbed the wheel, I pulled back, and we went up. I pushed down, and we went down. He even let me take it around and back to the runway on the final bank when my mom panicked. And she said, "Judy, take the controls. Gene can't land this plane." But that was okay. I had flown a plane at 8 years of age. How cool is that? Isn't that something that when we're young, we can take on the challenges of the world? We can be presidents, astronauts, scientists. And then when we get older, our comfort zones get smaller and smaller. Those little gremlins say, "You can't do this. You can't do that." Well, Toastmasters, we can get beyond our comfort zone. And when we do, that's when the magic of life happens. I was a freshman in high school and a trumpet player. For the first time outside of school, I tried out for an honor band. I walked into the room and there was a stern-looking man. Fear gripped my heart as I sat down and started playing my scale. Da, da, da. He stopped me. "Gene, what are you afraid of?" "Well, I'm afraid I'm going to blow it." I was a trumpet player after all. And then he said something that I'll never forget. He said, "So what?" So what? Oh, so what if I blow it? Whoa, the fear subsided, and I got through that audition, and I made that honor band. Emerson said, "Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain." Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Pat Hockemeyer was afraid. She was afraid of public speaking to the point that she'd been passed over for advancement at her job 3 times. Her boss encouraged her to join Toastmasters, Fairview Toastmasters. And you should have been there with Gene Dyer and I when she was given her icebreaker, and she was literally gripping it. I think the marks are still in that lectern, aren't they, Gene? But she got through that speech. And not only that, she did her second speech, her third speech. She left that club after 6 months because she got the promotion, and she was busy going all over the state of Nebraska giving presentations on behalf of her employer. Pat had stared fear in the eye, and she said, "So what?" Dean Karnazes said, "Struggling and suffering are the essence of a life worth living. If you're not pushing yourself beyond the comfort zone, if you're not demanding more from yourself, expanding and learning as you go, you're choosing a numb existence. You're denying yourself an extraordinary trip." Kelly Joseph Deyoe, my brother, was a young up-and-coming man. He graduated from high school a year and a half early. He was a successful restaurant manager, and at the age of 20, he was a road construction apprentice and on top of an 8-ton rubber-tired roller when the bank gave away, and it rolled over, and it broke his neck, immediately paralyzed from the neck down. In the emergency room, the doctors were fighting for his life, and in walked a neurologist. He took one look at Kelly, and he said, "He only has a 2% chance of living." And he walked out of the room. Kelly heard that. And at that moment, he not only had to face fear, he had to face death. And as if he said, "So what?" he chose to live. And not only did he choose to live, within a year he was out of the hospital, though in a wheelchair, able to breathe on his own. Many quadriplegics die within 1 year. At that time, most only lived to 10. I'm proud to say Kelly is still with us 37 years later. He went on to get his master's. He has counseled newly injured spinal patients. He is the lay minister director for the Methodist Church in southern Arizona. When you face overwhelming odds, say, so what? Face the fear, and the death of fear is certain. Fellow Toastmasters, what is your fear? What is a worthwhile goal that fear is holding you back? We can break through our comfort zones. And then when we do, the magic of life happens. And when you see that fear, say, so what? And it doesn't matter if you're young like my niece Kayla, or if you're more seasoned like some of the rest of us. The late, great Earl Nightingale said, never give up on your dreams just because of the time it'll take to accomplish them. The time will pass anyway. So, be like little 8-year-old Gene. Grab the controls to your life, pull back, and soar to a life extraordinary. Madam Toastmaster.